What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Neg Entropy Chronicles. Now, I have a special guest on the show. We're doing a new segment. Got my homegirl, London. We have been trying to get this together for quite some time, and we had a really good topic we want to rock with y'all. So I'm going to ask London this question. London, does my body, my choice apply to men?
From my understanding, no. Definitely.
Why not? You can't just say no. You gotta explain why.
I understand that factor. My thing is when it comes to men in general, they've never really had that say so with whatever comes out their body, whether they choose to want that said thing or not. So looking at some of these articles,
okay,
I came across one from Wikipedia that I did not know was an actual term. It's called sperm theft.
Okay, now to let the crowd know, the reason why we're actually talking about this is because of the whole situation with Drake and the alleged story, because I couldn't actually find, it came from like too hot for tea or something, like some website like that. And what it was talking about was Drake messes with this female from IG, and he goes into the bathroom, straps up, comes back out, gets to work, takes the remainder, goes into the bathroom, puts it in the garbage. Chick goes to the bathroom. She tries to then open the rubber, put the seeds of this man within to herself for the insemination, right? Starts to scream. He runs in. What's going on? Come to find out, he has to admit that, I threw hot sauce in there. It's awful, but it ain't even awful. Like, I don't even feel sorry for this person. So we'll get back to that Drake portion, but that's why we're talking about this. So explain to them how this sperm theft goes.
All right. So sperm theft is also known as unauthorized use of sperm jacking. Pretty much.
Run it. Give me all of the juice. Give me all of the juice. Give me the baby batter. I want the baby batter.
It's stealing of a man's seed without his knowledge.
Okay.
And you have a few cases. This is all coming from Wikipedia.
Okay.
So you have a few cases that people have, men have had their sperm taken from them, even though they discarded it, which that's what you do once you do and you throw it in the garbage and you're not thinking that somebody's about to go in there and be like, oh, jackpot,
because what was this story about? What was it, a millionaire in a hotel room?
Okay, hold on, let me pull that one up.
Well, which one are you looking at right now? Let's stay on that. Which one are you looking at?
One I was gonna bring up from Zimbabwe.
Oh, do that one first. Actually, that's a mean one. So while she's looking that up, I'm gonna tell y'all. So I looked at some comments and they were like, Drake is dumb. And so as a lady, and people were like, well, how is Drake dumb? And they were like, well, if he didn't want children, he could have just got a vasectomy. And I was like, that's an interesting concept to say if I am doing the necessary steps. So being responsible can come at a cost as well. What do they say? No good deed goes unpunished. So if I'm, putting on this, raincoat to make sure I don't make no unwanted children, you're going to force it some way or another. And people are like kind of looking at him like he's the problem. I mean, there's comments for days that are trying to go after him. And I was like, that doesn't even make any sense. But I'm going to tell you why I think that the story isn't real. And the reason being is because there are people who say Drake doesn't even holler at females directly. He actually has someone that goes and finds the women, he interviews them, makes them sign NDAs, and then they get to meet. You see what I'm saying? So to say that he met her individually and then went and handled it, that already goes against what he actually does. I mean, this dude's got layers upon layers of ways to avoid another situation like that. So, but it's still funny that I'm like, this dude just kept hot sauce in his pocket, just for that moment.
I was wondering the same thing. Like I was another YouTuber, and they were talking about it, and it's a comment that this young lady made, as far as it was the craziest comment ever. So like it's not verbatim, but in so many words, she's like, so you're telling me that Drake had hot sauce in the condom the whole time? What? That he was having sex with this lady. So ultimately, she was like, I guess they're both in the hot spot. And I'm sitting here like, did you not hear anything? Did you not hear anything that they said? That it was after the case, allegedly after the case, that it's the insanity.
Sorry, my face is kind of screwed up. I think we really need to get back to the idea of reading comprehension. Do you comprehend what is actually being said? Because to even think that is lunacy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And even if he did, so what? He ain't had it, whatever. I'm not even talking about that. So going back to the theft of the male seed. Okay, so what is you said in Zimbabwe? So yes, people can understand, like, this is actually a thing, so they don't think that we're just talking and just making up some stuff. These are actual scenarios that have happened. So let her drop this knowledge on you so you can trip up.
So it says in 2011, Zimbabwean police arrested a gang of female rapists accused of semen harvesting. Male targets were threatened or drugged and made to have sexual intercourse using condoms, after which the semen was retained, possibly for ritualistic purposes.
And man, I mean, the fact that they said it was a gang of women that are going around, but usually you do hear about men being drugged, but that's usually just to rob them of their money. But now explain to people, because what was, you gave me the different countries that this is happening in, because it's not just a one location situation, not even with the gang. We're just talking about people who were like, no, I did not authorize this. She stole it, or, whatever. What is the countries that you named off to me that actually do that?
So the one was Zimbabwe, then you have Venezuela, then of course you have United States, then you have United Kingdom, Italy, Israel, Germany, and Australia. That's what they have listed.
So for men and women, I want you to understand something. It doesn't matter what country you're in. If somebody want it, they're going to get it by any means necessary. It almost makes me think, because after we had the initial conversation, I was like, there was a show, I think it was SVU, and the lady would use like a cattle prod or something like that and go through the back door to men to make them shoot off so she could take the baby batter. I was like, what is going on? They just be writing stuff. Yeah. And then come to find out, these chicks is really on it, like it amazes me, because now when I ask that question, does my body, my choice apply to men? You remember why we even decided to call it that? Because what did you tell me about that particular court case with the guy in the hotel?
Okay, so let me pull that up. Well, all right, so you have the woman who impregnated itself with stolen semen from billionaire, wins child support case. Okay, So it's a 40-year-old Las Vegas hotel cleaner. She wins the child support case against a 28-year-old millionaire who she never slept with.
Mm-mm.
So the story goes, she goes in to clean his hotel room, and he left a bank statement on the nightstand in the hotel room, and she saw it when she was cleaning. And at that time, she said she wanted a baby so bad that I thought it would be better if I had a baby by a rich man. So she's going through his trash, and she finds a condom, of all things. She finds one and pretty much, do what she got to do to get pregnant, know. And it states that at the time, I guess when it was all resolved, the kid was 3 years old and he had an actual son out here that he did not create. And this man owed her $2 million.
Oh, $2 million.
His son's life he missed that he did not create.
And yeah, you said she admitted to it. That's how she did it. Now, it's amazing because what did you tell me? You said by law it says if you throw away your baby batter, it's no longer your property, and it can be used how they want to use it.
Yeah, pretty much. What they're using in the court system right now is called strict liability. You can use it in criminal and civil law, and it's a standard of liability under which a person is legally responsible for the consequences flowing from an activity, even in the absence of fault or criminal intent on the part of the defendant.
Okay, so let's go back to this. Let's go back to this hotel lady. So when they talk about hypergamy, all of that, they're always trying to date up. She like, oh, well, I just wanted a baby so bad. First off, what'd you say she was 44?
She was 40.
40-year-old woman. She at the end of the ropes. I'm about to sound messed up, but the eggs are dried up. They're not gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it. They hitting that wall. So all of a sudden, she sees this number and goes into instant. Man, it almost sounds like an animal, but instant heat. Now she's gonna search for some baby batter, like really hoping. Like I wonder how long it took, because, and really he must have some powerful kids, because air's supposed to hit him and kill him. You know what I'm saying? They say once it hit air, it doesn't have a long lifeline. Yeah. Then it's supposed to be draining out of the raincoat. So it's like, man, and she must be dumb for him, because it's just like, how did, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
How is it that it happened like that? And the craziest thing for me when it comes to the court system is they use so many tactics to prove certain situations. And of course, from my understanding, the lie detector test is not always used.
Correct. Yeah, because they say it can be manipulated, so they don't use it.
But it's like if it's still there, and you have people that has had extensive experience, like learning and understanding, because that's what these people are supposed to be. You're supposed to know the human behavior. You're supposed to know the graphing that comes with it, because it's also used in other cases where it's okay, but in certain cases it's not. So it's like they're trying to pretty much say, well, we can't prove that you didn't have sex with her. Now, in this case, in Amelia's case, she literally told them, I did it myself. We did not have sex.
Yeah. And they still turned around and made them $2 million behind. Yeah. And the sad part about that aspect of hypergamy, they'll do anything to get to that point where they're like, I will create a single family household just to get what I need. No, I want out of the situation. They don't need that situation. She didn't need a baby. She wanted it. She wanted
Yeah.
a baby by a rich man, which there's a lot of women who sign on to that. Yeah, if I can get knocked up, I'll get knocked up by a rich man. At least everything will be taken care of, duh. But for the courts to see it as such shows that the patriarchy that we live in is not tailored for the men, because there's no way that anybody could be like, yeah, make them pay. What? Like, if there were men in the...
It was me. Like, even, because I don't know what judge did what or whatever the case may be, but they're going off of case law. So talk about case law. If there's nothing for either defendant, prosecutor, for them to say, hey, XYZ here, this happened this way, and it matches their situation, that's how you can kind of, like, hey, we got it. We got this scenario. It's our scenario. This judge found it to be this way. This is the same, and normally that's how it kind of flows when it comes to case laws. But if people taking something from somebody, even though they discarded it, how is it that, okay, you're telling men once you discard it, it's no longer yours?
So if you want part 2, leave a comment down in the comment section saying part 2, because I'm telling you, it's going to be way more crazier than what you saw right now. Everything's going to get even more lively and abstract. So comment part 2 and be on the lookout for the rest of the video. All right, everybody. Peace.